games to get into for Sunday.
Let's preview Sunday. We kick off, of course, with 49ers taking on the Jags. We did mention the 49ers demolition of the Rams before.
Kyle Shanahan, I don't know if he's lost against the Rams.
I believe not, or he's like 4-1. He's a crazy record against the Rams.
Max, can you find out Kyle Shanahan versus the Rams?
He loves the Rams game.
I don't think he's lost.
Because I believe him and Sean go back. I think they crossed paths at some point, but also being very young offensive coach minds, there's definitely a rivalry there. But for whatever reason, Kyle just gets those 49ers, G'd up for this game.
And it was classic Kyle Shanahan offense with the running. Garoppolo threw 19 passes.
Yep.
Just fucking feeding Mitchell.
And who thought they'd pound the rock against Aaron Donald and fucking Von Miller first game? I got to say, some of those George Kittle blocks on Von Miller this week. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. There was that one. They ran out left, and he drove Von Miller, like one of the best defenders in the last 10 years, drove him back 10 yards and then put him on his ass.
Yeah. Buried him. So
George Kittle. It's not just
scored a touchdown in that game as well. Yeah. So I think George is definitely back from his injuries early in the season. So, which is a huge get for the 49ers. I think the 49ers maybe sneaky good. I think they've been unhealthy. They were definitely unhealthy last year. They start getting all their guys back. Of course, they've had all their running backs injured. Mitchell, I think they found something there. We'll have to see that. Debo Samuel is huge for them being healthy.
Oh, yeah.
He's big time huge.
He fucked my ass in fantasy. Not in our league, my other league, where I'm 1-9. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you listened to us talking about football.
Almost as bad as your league with us. But anyway, we'll keep going.
Oh, come on. I'm not too bad. 4-6. In that league, I think I have 60 points less than the guy coming first. So that's fantasy football for you. Ladies and gentlemen, luckily, I guess it doesn't really mean anything.
No. But in this game, they do take on the Jags. The Jags played a pretty competitive game against the Colts, but of course did lose.
Yeah, by a touchdown. I think it was 23-17 after beating the Bills. Maybe they're not that bad. Credit where credit's due.
They've got some
rookie quarterback.
They've got pieces. I think we're talking about it. They've got pieces, got some stuff they need to build around.
They're a year away.
Yeah, a year away, maybe two. They need to draft really well and pick up a few key pieces, and then they can be in that conversation. I think we've seen enough out of Trevor. He can definitely be a quarterback in the NFL going forward. Yeah. So, do they win this football match? I don't think so. Yeah. Even though Jags are at home, I think 49ers, hopefully they've got their mojo. I think that's what they needed. They needed their form from 2019, not last year's form. The form that took them to
Super Bowl year.
Yeah, the form that took them, really deep. They're healthy. Bosa's, dominant again. That I think is where that's a team they could probably potentially get back to. Is Jimmy G that quarterback for them long term? Maybe this season. But anyway, I think they win. I'm picking 49ers.
Don't sleep on Jimmy G. He's been the last month has been really good. I think he's been a fantasy weapon. And
not in the last game because of course he's 19 passes.
Sure, but he threw 2 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over.
Still winning football games. That's what matters.
Jimmy G. Yeah, Niners for mine. I would love to know the odds. You'd imagine the 49ers pretty sturdy favourites here, Max.
Yeah, $1.30ish.
Yeah, I've gone Niners. They are $1.30ish. They are favourites $1.34 at the moment. The Jags are out at $3.30. We have total match points of 45 and a line of 6.5.
What was the match points? 45. I like unders. Just the way the 49ers play. The Jags just can't score that many points. So it would not surprise me if this is a bit of an unders game.
And I'm making sure I do my tips this week.
Well, who did you pick out of Pats and Falcons?
The Patriots.
Very good.
Thank God.
So, game 2. Colts taking on Bills. We alluded to Bills before. Now behind the Patriots in the division. So they need to get a win to keep pace. They come against the Colts who are at 5-5. Did get that scrappy win over the Jags that we mentioned, but I think they're 4-2 of their last 6. from memory.
They started off poorly and they've turned the season
getting healthy.
on its head.
Jonathan
Taylor is the number 1 running back in the NFL.
It took him an extra 2 games to get there, but I think he's like a yard or 2 ahead of where Henry is. Again, give Henry some props. He's crazy for that. But Jonathan Taylor is leading Russia, which really helps Wentz. I think we've talked about Mike Williams in the past, Mo Ali Cox as well. Like they've got talent on that offensive ball. Defense is good. Darius Leonard, I think, got injured against the Jags. Did he play?
I think he played. Monks, if you wouldn't mind, Darius Leonard.
Maybe I'm thinking he got injured the week before. Anyway, good defense. Do I think it matters against the Bills?
I think it does. The Bills have been... They smacked
the average against Jags, and then they come out and smash the Jets.
Yeah, they smacked the Jets, but the 2 weeks before that, obviously had that shock loss to Jacksonville, and that week against Miami, they weren't convincing in that game.
And that's probably 3 of the worst teams, of course.
Yeah. So look, there are some question marks around is that offense actually that good? I think so. I think the Bills get it done. I think this will be a very close game.
Yeah, I think this will be a competitive game.
Anyone want the upset?
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I picked Bills. I'd like the overs, but I think it's going to be a very high total match points in this.
What is the total match points? I'm not certain on that. I think both teams have got great defenses. The Colts defense has really stepped up of late, and the Bills I think is the number 1 fantasy defense at least, if not the overall best ranked defense in the league this year.
It's Muggy.
So Darius Leonard is limited practice at the moment.
He's practicing, so that's
can't be too serious.
Yeah. No. I've gone Bills. The bookies might know something that we don't. They are heavy favourites, $1.29. The Colts are out at $3.64. Total match points of 50 and a line of 7.
I don't mind the 50.
I don't like that.
I think the Bills will put up 30
teams,
plus.
Both teams can score, but also have great defenses.
It's in Buffalo, though. I'm just trying to think. It's not super. It's getting colder.
It will be.
It'll be cold, but it's
cold in
You guys see the Packers game last week?
Yeah, well, true. Cold.
Dump and snow, November.
Yeah, well, that's probably the weather. If it's very cold and any precipitation of any kind, which includes snow, definitely big time unders.
Interesting that game Monday morning here, unseasonably cold in Australia. Dumping down snow in our Alps and dumping down snow in the Northern Hemisphere.
Global warming.
It's climate change. I guess, it becomes more erratic. Anyways, that's definitely a discussion for another podcast.
Anyway, we're going to talk about the game of the week. We've got the Dolphins taking on the Jets.
Blockbuster.
Both having 7 losses apiece. Jets, of course, were smacked by the Bills last week. Mike White threw 4 picks. So
remember how he's saying I should have been number 1 pick?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of memes saying, no, you should have been number 4 pick. Pick 4 picks. Picks there were 4.
He did get replaced by Flacco, and then Flacco, I think, is going to start this game against the Dolphins. I do like some of the talent on the Jets, but I think like the Jags, they're another team that needs draft well a couple good additions to get there. Dolphins, on the other hand, their Tua, I believe, is going to be the starter after coming in for a relief. His finger's okay. He played the rest of that game and was pretty good.
Tell you who else who's okay. Their defense been really big against the Ravens. Not too bad against the Bills the week before.
Yeah, they've got a really good corner, if you don't mind. So
their corner,
Rhodes, Xavier Rhodes over there.
Xavier Howard.
Howard, you are right.
Yeah. Did you tip the Jets though?
I did. And
thoughts? And
it's one of my upsets here. I don't know. I like. It's probably because I got a couple of Jets on my fantasy football team. I like what the Jets have been doing. Their defense stinks. I like what they do. They've got some talent there. I don't think Flacco is probably going to get the best out of them. I think he's a bit past. He's absolutely elite. But, he can do enough to win your football game. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, of course. Dolphins, they just don't impress me, and they're away from home. It's going to be in New York. Could be a bit chilly up there as well for this. I don't know. Jets by hair. This will be a close game of absolute shitness. This could be a draw like the fucking Lions Steelers game I don't think this is the elite football match we want to watch and probably talked enough about. So
Miami for mine. I think they get the job done. They've won 2 on the trot. I think their defense is stout. But yeah, I tipped the away teams last week from not putting my tips in, and I did it just as well as you guys. So
yeah,
disregard whatever I say.
What's the money on the other
basically
table?
Basically what you're saying, it doesn't matter who you tip.
The away team in this.
Yeah. I have gone the Dolphins as well. They are favourites $1.54. Total match points of 44.5, and the line is 3.5.
Don't like any of that.
That's way too much on this game, I reckon.
Yeah.
Moving forward to the Washington football team and the Carolina Panthers. Both teams coming off big upsets.
I think a slightly interesting game because of that as well. Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, the Washington football team, they beat
the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. Very surprising there. Of course, coming off the bye, they did lose Chase Young with an ACL injury, which is a huge loss for them. They did pick off TB12 twice in the first half and held him to under 300 yards as Monks has a big cry on the end of the table there. Taylor Heineke was pretty good. I think Anton Gibson, for a guy with shin fractures, getting 24 carries and getting a tutter as well, did pretty well. So that was a big win. And then if I flip the script and go to the Panthers, Cam Newton.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
A little bit of gadgetry to get him back in the offense, but he rushing touchdown, pass for a touchdown.
His first 2 touchdowns.
I
don't think they were saying it's never happened for a guy in I think in the NFL. His first 2 touches.
Yeah. I know a few blokes that, their first touch has been a touchdown, but to follow up with your second one.
Rushing touchdown, passing touchdown. And that passing touchdown was elite because he's coming in. They're like, oh, we know what's happening here. Direct snap. Cam's going to try and fucking run it down our throats. He kind of just takes off to the right and just goes Robbie Anderson on the out. On his tit.
And you got to remember, this is against the Cards, and their defense has a lot of good names and talent on that side of the ball too.
Sure do.
And for them to get in there and
they got smacked. Mm-hmm. They didn't have Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins.
Their offense was a bit sticky.
Yada.
But their defense was basically...
Their defense was fine.
Yeah.
And Carolina...
The defense have been holding them together for the last couple of games, I suppose. So, yeah.
I'm back.
So Cam Newton will be the starter. So PJ Walker... only there as a placeholder, unfortunate for him.
Great XFL career.
Yeah, well, we thought it was the case. You give Cam Newton 10 mil. You're lining him up to be QB1.
This bloke was the MVP 5 years ago.
Yep.
Look, he had a stinker of a year last year at New England. No one's arguing that. Mm-hmm. But I think people in Carolina are pretty pumped to have the bloke that took them to a Super Bowl back.
Well, I agree with you. Nostalgia's good, but how far does nostalgia go? Because if you look at some of the Star Wars trilogies, it doesn't help you out real great.
Are you talking about the last 3? Because they're horrendous. they're very bad. They stink.
So
TV shows are good though. TV shows are good.
But
Speaking
I guess
of nostalgia, the first 6 Star Wars, not too bad.
Yeah.
Look, Jar Jar Binks, take it or leave it.
So my point being that him coming back and doing well in this initial game was good. I just wonder how long that they stick on his side, whether it's 1-2 bad games and others like.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you've taken the football team in this?
No, I haven't got to my pick in this, but I'm pretty sure I picked Panthers.
Why are you hating?
Because I think in this game, I think they've got some talent. But I'm just thinking the narrative, the long-term story for Cam.
Okay.
Yeah, because he did have a pretty good start with the Patriots last season.
Yeah, well, he did score 10 rushing touchdowns last year, so And for a team,
but just couldn't get the ball going.
Yeah, it follows that storyline. Like,
yeah,
starts off red hot, and then
plus he didn't have CMC on the Patriots
and
team.
and CMC was happy to have Cam back. You could see how pumped he was. Throwing a little, little dance move when Cam was running his first touch in.
He's just like
CMC will be pumped to have Cam back.
He can't wait for these RPOs. He's just like,
let's fucking go. Panthers for mine. Great showing from the Washington football team. Who knows? The NFL is very surprising of late.
I think this game will be closer than people think.
I'll go Carolina.
I've gone pick Panthers as well. Chase Young's a huge out for them.
Massive.
I think their front seven, and I don't want to say Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time, the GOAT. Mm-hmm. His one weakness is probably coming up against a really good front seven or front four that harass him. Mm. That's always been a little bit of a concern, but I think most quarterbacks have that issue when they're getting under pressure.
If a 300-pound man wanted to break my legs, yes, I would also not perform very well.
I think Washington did enough in that regards to get that win, but without Chase Young, this is a different situation. I pick Panthers. Let's finish this up, Max. What was your picking odds?
Yep, I picked Panthers as well. They are favourites leading into the match. $1.60. The Washington football team is $2.36 at the moment. We have total match points of 43 and a line of 3.
I'll probably leave most of that alone.
Any odds of getting a repeat on I'm back?
well, what's Cam Newton anytime touchdown score?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Touchdown markets anytime. I'm going to say $2.
$4.
How many?
I said 4.
No, I don't.
He's
think
a quarterback.
That, yeah. What have we got there? That is Washington football team. Cam Newton anytime, $2.25.
There you go. The person you got a problem.
I withdrew from Sportsbet this week. Withdrew. Amount undisclosed.
Yeah.
Who's Drew?
Was it money you'd put in and then it had decreased and then you took out what was left?
No, because I don't have that much money in the first place.
Anyway, well, what's the next match? What's the next match we got coming up?
It's funny because it's true.
All right.
Ravens Bears.
Bears, yes.
Both. This is a very weird one. So the Ravens, a few weeks ago, we're going. These guys are legit. Like these guys, AFC Championship game. Let's do it right now. And then go out against they lose against Miami. Yep. A few weeks before that, they got smacked by the Bengals.
Lamar's not happy. Is the other
you
thing.
Reckon?
Well, watching that, I think he's carrying the team, essentially. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
And you could see some of the demeanor on that, what he wants, what he was trying to get out of, we talk about the offense, it just wasn't there. Just wasn't, whatever it is, it's just not clicking. Of course, they cut Lovie and Bell during the week as well.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're going to stick with Freeman and Murray because I think Freeman's now, and Murray's getting more healthy.
Yep.
So
remember how we're talking about deleting tweets? The other bit of advice that you should take from a guy that's had a few beers on a Friday night, don't hold out.
Yeah. Sign that $60 million contract for a couple of years.
Who has held out and it's gone well for them? I'll wait.
That'll be a challenge for Mux there.
I'll wait. Seriously, who has? It never goes well. Anyways, Le'Veon Bell aside, the Bears coming off the bye, they're at home. The Ravens don't look like the Ravens.
Their defense has been a bit of iffy as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Any upsets?
They need to click. Did I pick the Bears at home? No, I don't think I did.
After all this hype, I did not either.
I think the Ravens still a better football team. We want to see that chemistry. We want to see them click. They need to get together.
I'm a big Justin Fields fan. And shout out to Joseph McGrath, the Mac Dog. If you're listening, big Ravens fan. But I like Justin Fields. I wouldn't mind seeing a Bears upset here.
Yeah, Bears.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll change my tip. I'm going to change it.
Bears are a little bit banged up though. Allen Robinson and Mooney have been banged up. Their defense has been a bit so-so, but
it's Fields with his legs and it's David Montgomery with his legs.
True.
And a reasonable defense. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. Chicago Bears. Coming from a Packers fan.
All right, so that's Ravers by 40 guaranteed. Monks, what's your tip and
odd? Chris Johnson held out 2011.
CJ 2K.
Yeah.
That was...
but his career didn't last very long after he signed that contract, I don't think.
No, so I'm just reading through the deal now.
But he also had one of the best years ever for a running back.
It's probably true.
I suppose in terms of he won because he got paid out bulk cash and, his production went down. Yeah. So he got paid more to do less.
I agree.
You found someone that did well.
I'm surprised he got the accounting right.
Jamarcus Russell.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that's the reason they've got a rookie cap now for the NFL draft, because he
got paid.
He got paid, but he held out because he wanted to get paid, and the Raiders basically had to come to the table with a ridiculous deal for him. He basically got like an Aaron Rodgers 15-year vet deal as a rookie.
What did Jamarcus Russell make?
After months of holding out, number 1 pick, 2007 draft.
6 years, $68 million.
Yeah.
68 million.
And
for a bloke that...
What year we talking?
No offense, an excellent athlete.
2007.
But someone that literally did fuck all in the NFL.
Yeah, well, in today's money, it's almost double that. So that was a 10 million a year average. That's 20 million now for a quarterback. So
hey, must be the rupees.
That puts you. That's top. Well, the quarterback market's going crazy at the moment with Dak and etc. doing 30 plus. But it puts you very, very high for market for money.
Did he not play it down?
I don't know if that's
Surely
right.
he played. Maybe this was after his rookie year.
Oh, Jamarcus was all kind of fucked up story.
Have a look there. Anyways,
anyway,
should we preview some games?
We'll talk about that when we get back to the Raiders, which I think are playing. Yeah, they're playing late game. Anyway, games. We finished this game. Yes.
No, we don't have odds.
Tips and odds.
I changed the Bears.
Odds.
I went Ravens. They are favourites of $1.42. The Bears are out at $2.90. We have a line of 5.5 and total match points of 44.5.
I don't like that.
Windy City, weather coming in.
Yeah, I'd say most likely going to be unders, but it's still a pretty low total. Sorry.
Anyways, a game that we won't linger on. No, that's the next one. This is actually really interesting.
Should be a decent game.
New Orleans take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Saints, they've lost the Falcons, they've lost the Titans. A few weeks ago, we were thinking, maybe NFC contenders. The Eagles, after this game, they've got the Bills, the Cowboys, and the Bucks. I do think the Jets are in there at some stage, but it's looking pretty iffy for the Eagles going forward. Mm-hmm. They did look very good on the weekend against Denver, getting that away win quite comfortably. Yeah. You as a Denver fan?
I don't know a bitch about Denver. It's a bit of a common occurrence. They came into this one very unprepared and played terrible. But
what happened? And then the Eagles, after that smackdown at Dallas.
And I don't want to give Pat Shermer huge props, but he had COVID, so we had the quarterback coach calling plays for us. So we were good between the 20, couldn't score points in the red zone. So play calling was pretty average, but we really couldn't get anything going offensively. The defensive line was pretty good. We had 3 starters out. But besides that, the offense played terrible. Defense was shit. They were, I don't want to say unprepared, but they played a lot of man. Which really didn't lend well to the Eagles, and they made it very easily for Jalen Hurts to pick us apart. Mm-hmm. And he played, lights out. His completion percentage was crazy for that first half.
He's pretty good, man.
He's not bad. And then add in the run option there, and they just killed Denver. And we played a bit more zone start off the second, and Eagles struggled a little bit, but then they got set with that, and Jalen got good, and they finished off the game. So. The Eagles aren't bad. I think they missed. They've got a good front 7 or good front 4, but they miss a bit in the secondary. I think they miss a couple of weapons on offense, of course. Smith is elite for him. The Smith-Patrick Surtain battle was very good in this game.
Wasn't it?
We'll add. But outside of Smith...
Of course, I was playing against Devonta Smith in fantasy.
Yeah. So I think Smith as a...
Where's his haters at? He's too small. He's too
skinny.
Too skinny.
Yeah. Well, you look at all the number one wide receiver, well, the first round wide receivers that came out. There's even Jalen Waddle. He's had a great year.
Waddle's
too.
going nuts. Jamar Chase is an elite wide receiver. Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a fourth one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But they're all been doing very, very well. I think Elijah Moore was first round, wasn't he? So, and he's had a couple of good weeks.
Kadarius Toney.
Yes, and he had a couple of good weeks too. So, it's great for wide receivers first round, of course. Do I think the Eagles beat the Saints, though? I believe I said yes.
Oh, that'll be a nice upset.
Yes, I picked them as an upset.
Yep.
I just don't like what the Saints are doing. I don't like what they've got at quarterback. The defense is still good. Kamara was out last week. I think he's in this week.
Yeah.
But Ingram did nothing in kind of coverage.
He scored.
He scored, but it's hard to cover for Kamara. Let's be honest.
Sure.
So he didn't have a Kamara game, is what I'm alluding to here. I don't know. This Eagles at home. I do like what Jalen Hurts is doing. It's going to be a close game of footy. I just don't think Saints got a quarterback to get them over the line.
I have gone New Orleans here. I think the defense is still pretty good, although a little bit lackluster the last few weeks. But I'm not confident here. I do think the Eagles...
I'd be really interested in what the odds are going to be in this one. Whether the bookies are
I reckon this
on
might,
the same page.
This might be an even money game.
There you go.
It might be an even money game.
What's the draw play?
Mate, you've had a little peeky boo, have you?
I have. So, yeah, to that, I have also picked the Saints, who are going to be the upset for the week. So, Saints are actually underdogs, $2.11. Eagles are in front at $1.73, so still close-ish there. We've got total match points of 43.5 and a line of 2.
What's total match points? 43.5.
43.5.
Yeah.
Very hard to call.
Yeah, it's close. I think this will be a surprisingly good game. I just don't think the Saints have the right quarterback play to get them a win in a close game.
The bookies agree with you, Sean, apparently. So, yeah.
For what it's worth.
One where I imagine the tips will be pretty unanimous is the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. Texans coming off the bye.
Yeah, well, the Titans got bye this week, so.
Did I fuck up?
I can see the cogs turning. It's all good.
Very slowly, ladies and gentlemen. The Titans, they lead the AFC. They are the number one seed if the season were to end at the moment, and they're 2 games ahead of the Bills and the Ravens.
What's really interesting, I think the last month, they've beaten 4 playoff teams. So
and 2 of those games without Derrick Henry.
Adrian Peterson's done enough, but he's not the elite.
He's done enough. Well,
He's
not
done,
nothing.
He's done nothing. He's averaging like 3 yards a carry, so he's doing enough, but he's not Derrick Henry. Let's.
No one is. No one is.
True, he's the king.
So they beat the Saints last week. They had 264 yards of offense, and they won that game. Tannehill just been that game manager, not turning the ball over.
Scoring rushing touchdowns.
He did.
It helps.
The Jordan. Air Tannehill.
I don't know. But I think they've also got 20 players on injury reserve. I think I saw
Christ.
that. Yeah, and
Banged
hey,
up.
they're banged up, but they're 8-2. Mike Vrabel, like, give him shouts, props as a head coach. Like, he gets that team ready, and they like you said, they might not get a lot of yards, but they grind out football games.
Sure thing.
I don't think Texans are a team that are going to trouble them at all. Quite interesting, Jeff Driscoll, who was a Denver's quarterback last year, who's now, I think it was Lions before that, he's now quarterback over at Texans. He's now 3, of course, with Tyrod coming back as the starter. I think Mills will be the backup. He's actually moving from quarterback to tight end, doing a bit of a Tebow. And
is he big?
I think he's 6'4", 100.
235. I've got him listed here.
Yeah, he's not jacked like Tebow was, but
you throw on 10, 15 pounds.
It's coverable. Like it's doable is what we're getting at. I don't even know who the Texas head coach is at the moment, but he said that, Jeff Driscoll's an athlete. He could definitely change positions. But it kind of talks about my point of bringing this up is it kind of alludes to or shows what the Texans are as a football team. No one fucking knows. No one knows what position.
No,
they're red hot garbage.
Yeah, they're a hot mess at the moment. David Culley is their head coach.
That's right.
Not well versed in the history of David Culley.
Well, I think this is his first season after replacing the Pats coach O'Brien. That's right, the former Pats offensive dude. Winning one game doesn't help your chances as a
no.
Yeah, but they're a long way away as a potential contender. Titans by a lot.
What do you got for us here, Max?
Maybe not Titans by a lot, but Titans win.
So, Titans have got 14 players on injury reserve and about 12 players on the injury report in various stages of practice status.
And they are the best team in the AFC. Go figure.
Yeah.
Odds, please. I imagine they're pretty handsome favourites.
Yep, so we're all Titans here. They are favourites, $1.22. Houston is out at $4.35. We have a line of 10 and total match points of 44.5.
Don't like any of it.
NFC North, Packers, Vikings. Aaron Rodgers come back. He's immunised. He's good to go. He did lead the pack to...
You made me think for a second. I was like, he didn't get vaccinated during the week. I was like, oh, wait, use that word. Use that word.
He's immunised, baby.
Technicality.
Anyway, that 17-0 win over the Hawks was... though low scoring, some of the passes that Rodgers threw on that were elite. They were so pretty.
Yeah.
And we're talking tiny windows, a very small box that he had to put it in. And
he's the reigning MVP, man.
He's a talented quarterback. We all know that. Yep. They do take on the Vikings in this one, who did have a big win over the Chargers, actually winning a game late.
Yeah, a close win, which they've really struggled. I think that they are the NFL leaders for games that have been decided by a touchdown or less. And most of the time, they've come out losers in that. The Vikings are 4-5. Don't write them out just yet. I think they're a good 4-5.
I think they're a really good offensive team, but they're one of these interesting teams that have good offensive talent, but not really there with the defense.
Oh,
they've got pieces, but I think they just leak a couple too many points than they probably should.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. Monks might be able to have a look at how many points they're leaking per game. They've got pieces there with Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks and.
Well, I agree. I think they've got pieces there. I just think they leak just a few many points. It might not be much, but I think they leak just too many points that then Kirk Cousins can't overcome. Maybe that's my thinking. And not to say that Kirk's a completely limited quarterback. He can score points. But
you know what? I'll back you in there. So gave up 20 in that win against the Chargers, and then going backwards, 34 in the loss to the Ravens, 20, which is okay, against the Cowboys. Gave up 28 in the win against the Panthers. Gave up 17 to the Detroit Lions. 14 to the... Yeah, look, there's not been any game where the defense has played lights out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Doesn't matter against the Packers. Aaron Jones, I think, is the big news.
MCL sprain. Apparently, it's not too bad. Doubtful for this weekend. Sometimes, a proper MCL, you're kind of thinking 6 weeks. It seems like just a minor strain, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what, AJ Dillon is... He's really good. He's an old school Jerome Bettis, if you will. The bus. He's built like a fucking brick. You know what? He'll pound the rock. I think the Packers get the job done here.
Yeah, I agree.
Although expect it to be a close one.
Yeah, and with my previous point with Vikings leaking points, I think the Packers Though, of course, they got the donut against the Seahawks. I'm not a real huge fan of their secondary, and that's probably a strength of what the Vikings have.
Shout out Kevin King.
Yeah, he did get a pick, I think, on the weekend. Yeah. So I think this will be a good game of footy, close. Wouldn't surprise me if the total match points is over 50.
Over 50. I would definitely take the unders on that one. Monks, so there's 2 Packers here.
Yeah, Packers.
It's very close, actually, the odds.
It is. So I'll go on Packers as well. They are favourites only just at $1.81. The Vikings are out at $2 at the moment. We have got total match points of 47 and a line of 1.5.
And over-under immunised players? The line should be half a player. Anyways, into...
Interesting point. So Joe Flacco is unvaccinated as well, but he's been towing the line, wearing masks to press conferences, etc. And they asked him about it, and he's just like, "I'm unvaccinated. I'm not going to get into my reasoning why, because I think that's not worth covering or distracts from the conversation of the football or some shit like that." But that was the only other unvaccinated quarterback chat that I could remember from this week.
But is he on the Joe Rogan shit?
No idea.
Shout out to Joe Rogan if you're listening.
Had a good podcast with Snoop Dogg this week, so check that out.
Yeah, it was very funny. Actually.
Elite chat.
Anyways, moving forward, some really interesting games here.
The late game's definitely interesting.
Yeah. So the first one, Bengals and Raiders, 2 AFC hopefuls, both 5 and 4. The Bengals coming off the bye, they've probably been a little bit lackluster, let's be honest, the last few weeks. But they come up against this Raiders team that's been through so much adversity this year. Gruden, Henry Ruggs, the whole shebang, and they had a bit of a reality check on Sunday Night Football, didn't they? In their own house, the Chiefs look like the Chiefs that we normally are used to. They got smacked down here. They do go back to Allegiant Stadium.
Again.
Can they get done here against Cincinnati? It's an interesting matchup.
I got to ask you, what did you think of Deshaun Jackson's reception fumble? Do you think he should? Do you think he was trying to turn it upfield? Maybe got disorientated, or you think he breaks out and scores a touchdown?
It's very Deshaun Jackson-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you get the good and the bad. So.
Silver Linings Playbook. Shout out. Good movie, actually. Jennifer Lawrence. Who's the hot guy off The Hangover?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, there we go. There's my Freudian slip for the week. Yeah, they talk about Deshaun Jackson in that movie at the 1 yard line.
Yes.
This is really interesting.
I think it's a close game of football. I have backed the Bengals in this because I like where they're going. I think what we've said before, I said it before, I said I think the defenses needs a couple of pieces, and they went out and smacked the Ravens, and I was like, oh, they're here, they're ready to go. And then the following week, they
lost
lose
the Jets.
and he was like, what the fuck?
It knocked me out of my Pick'em Survivor League.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm going the Las Vegas Raiders to bounce back at home here against the Cincinnati Bengals. In all seriousness, flip a coin. I'm not actually that confident. Who really fucking knows? I've got a few Raiders in my fantasy football team. So.
This will be close odds, I reckon. I've gone Bengals here, but it's a good close game footy.
It is a very close game. I have also gone Bengals.
This is some bullshit odds at Sportsbet. No longer unofficial sponsor.
Yeah. It is a flip of the coin. So Bengals are favourites $1.82. Las Vegas Raiders are out at $1.99. So it's under that $2 mark. We have a line of 1 point and total match points of 50.5.
Ooh, I don't mind the overs there. Both these teams can put it on. Anyways, that's some good
thinking.
Listening.
Cogs turning again.
Yeah. Oh, Jamarcus Russell.
Back to Raiders. Yep.
Yeah. So the wording of it was what tripped us up. So he got that deal without having played an NFL snap.
That makes sense.
So I got the deal before he actually.
He missed rookie mini camp. He missed summer training camp, and then came in and
he played.
For that. He started week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, getting a $10 million an average.
$68 million.
Yeah. Before even taking a snap.
Good money.
A lot of money.
So we got Cards now taking on the Seahawks. Kyler Murray has been training during the week, though in a limited capacity. So that kind of leads to a likely play.
Yeah.
But there is still potential they rest him. Hopkins still not training, so he looks like he's potentially going to be out. Danger Russ did look a little bit rusty in that game, of course, coming back. I'm really not sure about the Seahawks and that team. They got DK and Tyler, but they got not a lot else. Chris Carson, I think, still banged up.
He is, I believe.
Yeah, and their defense is not where it needs to be.
It's definitely no Legion of Boom, that is for sure. Did you know that was the first time that Russell Wilson has ever been shut out his whole career? First time he's never scored. Going back to the Cardinals, it's weird, isn't it? Because 2 weeks ago with Colt McCoy at the helm, they looked excellent. And
who were they playing though?
They played someone okay, didn't they, 2 weeks ago?
49ers.
Yeah, smacked him. Absolutely smacked him. And then last week against the Carolina Panthers did get off to a red-hot start. I think it was 17-0 at the end of the first quarter.
I think they might have got caught up in some of the Cam energy and they just got smacked. They couldn't get any of that momentum.
And a very different game offensively for the Cardinals.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we expect here? If Kyler plays, it's a big in.
It's a huge in. I think they would win with Kyler in. I still think they'd probably win even if he's not. I still like their talent and their defense should cause problems for the Seahawks offense. I'm not confident, though, in that. You can't rule out Russell. Give him another week to get prepared and get ready for another week back from his rehab.
Yep, in the Pacific Northwest.
At home. But Cards are 8-2 for a reason, so I'm picking Cards.
No, I tend to agree. I'll go Arizona here. And if Murray plays, and that's a big game decider. The odds are closer than you would expect, Max. Your tip and the odds, please.
So no real confidence. I have gone with the Seahawks. That's probably backing my boy DK Metcalf sitting in my starting lineup for fantasy.
Got ejected last week as well.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, a little bit of how you going with Jalen Ramsey and half the.
They have a bit of history, don't they?
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey and him, they definitely have history.
One's the best cornerback in the league and one's top 5 receiver, in my opinion.
It wasn't Ramsey. They didn't play the Rams last week, did he?
They played
Packers. They played your team.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Didn't he get ejected against the Packers as well?
Nah. I think he.
He might as well. He didn't get any receptions.
He got ejected from Russell Wilson's brain.
Finish those odds off.
Yeah, back to the odds. So the Cards are favourite $1.79. The Seahawks are $2.03. We have a line of 1.5 and total match points of 47.5.
Ooh.
Total match points.
Still not a fan. Huge fan.
I like the Cardinals head-to-head there. It's early days, but we'll see.
Depends if Murray plays.
If Colt McCoy is starting, then maybe the Seahawks is juicy there. I'll tell you what else is juicy. One of the best teams in the NFC this year.
Bulging disc.
Go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Played in the last 2 Super Bowls. The Cowboys, they were embarrassed by the Denver Broncos 2 weeks ago, and they came out and they said, you know what, we still them boys, and they smacked the Falcons. We did speak earlier about the Falcons' woes. However, Dak was very good. Zeke was very good. CD Lamb, 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did state about him getting fined more than Aaron Rodgers for his shirt being untucked. He said he was, he didn't say he was upset about it. He said he was annoyed, I think was the words that he chose.
I think the difference was, though, he's a repeat offender versus Aaron Rodgers, which was his first time offender.
Yeah, sure. Repeat offender of having your shirt untucked is, I don't know, apples and oranges, ladies and gentlemen. I also used to get in trouble for having my shirt untucked.
I was going to say, we got detention all the time.
A lot. Does it really matter that much?
No.
Nah, anyways.
It didn't help. You still ended up being a fuckwit, so.
That is right. So shout out to all those teachers that gave me detention for having my shirt untucked. I hope you sleep well at night. Trayvon Diggs, I bet he's sleeping well at night at the moment. He has 8 picks. Dick the Night Train Lane, he leads the NFL
Defensive
history.
Rookie of the Year?
Ooh, say again? Diggs, he's in his second year.
Second year, sorry.
Yeah, second year, so disregard. But I think Dick the Night Train Lane has the NFL record 14, and this is like a 50-year-old record.
Big time record.
The thing is, if Diggs were to pip Dick the Night Train Lane, he would have, I think, 3 games more, if not 5.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, was it a 12-game season?
I think
in
it was
those
12
days?
game from memory because I think in 70s, 80s they went to the 14 and then 16.
So there
the
might be a
90s.
lot of interjection, if you will.
Yeah,
If
it's still crazy because
It's nuts.
even in the modern era, I think Asante Samuels, Howard, and Champ all did 10.
10.
So
yeah.
he's
So
only 2 away with what have we got left? Another
Half a
7
season?
matches. Yeah, yeah, another 7 matches. So
Yeah, just under half a season. But yeah, Trayvon Diggs. When does the Defensive Player of the Year conversation start for Trayvon? Say the bloke has 12 picks. It'd be pretty hard to go past that.
well, they overlooked Stephen Gilmore the other year when he had 10, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had 10.
For another that had 10.
But he also won it the year that he didn't have that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. For mine,
Who you picking though? Defensive Player of the Year currently.
before TJ Watt got banged up on the weekend, maybe TJ had a stake to claim in it. But I don't know. At the moment, 8 picks through 10 games. For mine, I think the best defensive player in the league is Trayvon Diggs.
Well, I think he backs it up.
Or the most maybe he's not the best, but the most influential,
Yeah,
the most valuable.
How many touchdowns has he got? I think he's got
2, I think.
at least 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in that conversation. He's got to keep it rolling.
big time. In
'Cause,
terms of this game, a red hot matchup.
Let's go back to that. Chiefs, of course, getting their win as well.
They bounced back. They look like the old Chiefs last
Well,
week.
they're 6-4. I think they're top of the division now.
Yeah, yep.
So after being at the bottom 3 weeks ago, they're now at the top.
So last week the Broncos lost, the Chargers lost, and they beat the Raiders.
And they beat the Raiders.
So in 1 week they can turn it on its head. Look, they've not been the same old Kansas City that we've been used to for the last 3 or 4 years,
No.
but they're still an excellent fucking football team, and there's no reason why come February they can't be in the Super Bowl.
Well, Kels has grown his beard back out, so he's finally got his swag back. So
Oh yeah, he said Kels. How he prefers it to be
yeah, well, that's how it's meant to be said.
pronounced. Apparently,
There's no Y on the end of it.
I guess. This is coming from our expert in
Expert
pronunciation.
Fuck everyone else.
But anyways, going back to this game, we're looking at 2 red-hot offenses going head-to-head and 2 defenses that can leak a few points.
Who'd you pick?
Chiefs. I think this is the Kansas City that we know and we're used to. Yeah, they've had a few hiccups. Pat Mahomes had a month where he didn't look like, an alien, Superman, all the other superlatives that could go with that. I think it'll be a good game. I'm very much looking forward to this one, but I think the Chiefs get it done.
I think
Upset City?
Yeah, upset City. I was wondering how I start this off. Did I say fuck them? No, I think it was more. I think they're pretenders. So they beat the Raiders. They smacked the Raiders team. And I don't think the Raiders are. They're not one of the potential playoff teams. I think going forward, their defense is just not that bad, and then they come up against potentially the team that should have the best offense in the league. They've got all the talent in the world over there. They're going to leak a lot of points. Cowboys themselves leak points. Whatever it is, I think if it's in the 50s, doesn't matter. At this point, this game's going overs. But I've gone Cowboys here to get the shock win in Arrowhead Stadium.
Marks, the deciding tip, the odds, and your defensive player of the year stats or opinions.
All right, let's go with tips
Or
and
your
odds
dick
first. I'll get that bulging disc out.
Yeah, we love a good 3 inches of bulging disc.
Hey,
Three's generous.
it's unusually cold for this time of the year.
I have gone the Chiefs as well. They are favourites $1.72. Cowboys are out at $2.13. We've got total match points. Let's go with that first of 56.
Holy Jesus.
Yep.
There's a few points.
Oh, there's a lot of points.
Which can make sense because we've got a line of 2.5.
Yeah, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
56.
This would be like a 40 to 30 game. So,
Yeah. Take the overs.
Take the overs.
Smash the overs.
Yep.
You heard it here on the Esky, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
will say, check the weather report. It is in Arrowhead and Kansas City. If it is snowing, maybe change that idea. But if it's nice and clear, take the overs.
I need to get the weatherman on this podcast. Back to defensive stats. So we've got Myles Garrett in the lead for sacks at 13.
Yeah, that's
TJ Watt's close behind him, 12.5.
Do you mind looking up TJ Watt injury? I think he's okay. Like, it looked kind of bad.
Well, it's a great segue you get there because we do have the Steelers and the Chargers coming up as the next match for the Sunday Night Football. Steelers, of course, getting that stupid draw against the Lions.
Horrible game.
Horrible game. They had Mason Rudolph playing there. I'm surprised they didn't use Harrison just a bit more than they did in that game. But the Lions, they also stunk and did enough to keep the 16-all draw. Like it's a poo game. Mm-hmm. Chargers, as we mentioned, lost the Vikings, so both coming off semi-losses. One a loss and one.
It was a loss for Pittsburgh.
It was they should have put the Lions away.
Detroit.
Herbert is a little nicked up. He's got an oblique injury from today and is on the injury report. I think he'll still play. I think he'll be all right with that. They'll get him a nice massage and get him all ready for the weekend. I believe, and Monks, you might need to double check this for me. Big Ben is good to go from his COVID of last week. He should be back in the team as the starter. Having said that, I'm pretty sure I picked Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers for mine.
I just like their talent more offensively, healthy.
Yep.
I like the Steelers. Big Ben's had COVID. I think Claypool's still a bit banged up. That really only leaves them with Johnson. They essentially got a pound and rock with Harris. On the flip side, I think Chargers have been doing pretty good defense. Another Bosa brother has been playing pretty well. So,
I
like Chargers.
I agree. All out here. Chargers for mine. Steelers at 5-3-1. I think that's generous. I think Chargers for mine. Sunday Night Football.
Yep. So on TJ, he is not practicing at the moment. No word on if he'll start. And Ben Roethlisberger, current status is out. Still with COVID, I'm assuming. But he does not need to practice in order to play on the game. So game day.
He just needs his negative test, and that's probably the same for Nick Chubb. Who are the Browns playing this week, Peppy?
Yeah, good question, because they're not on the bye.
Max, can you find that out quick for us? Because, Nick Chubb, I remember, it's the other one that's got COVID, missed last week and potentially could play this week. So finish this game off with 2 Chargers, Monks. Who'd you pick in odds? Yep. Well, maybe I'll find the Browns again for you.
They're playing Detroit. Did we talk about
that? That's probably why we didn't cover it. They're playing Detroit.
Steelers, Chargers odds, if you will, Max.
Yeah. So, geez, what am I looking at here?
That's fucking funny.
Chargers are...
Just skim through. Lions game, don't care. Or Browns.
In my defense, it was very, very rushed notes this week.
That's right.
It's all good. I chose Chargers as well. They are favourites at $1.38. The Steelers are out at $3.
It's kind of short, really. I would think there for the Chargers, even though we've all picked them.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's total match points?
Total match points is... Jeez, my eyes are shit. 46.5.
Do you use glasses?
I've got contacts in.
I still don't work.
And the line is 6.
I think that's a lot of points. I
agree with you on that.
The Lions, the game that I omitted.
Lions versus Browns.
Subconsciously.
Yeah. Well, I think we've covered the major stories. We all probably picked Browns.
Yes.
Nick Chubb still on COVID. It's likely he'll play, but he still needs the negative test and hasn't had them yet. So
Dearness Johnson.
Filling in very nicely for him in that regard. So I'm very happy with that. Having both of those guys cover off my fantasy team. Monks, if you will, give us some odds. I assume Browns by a lot.
Browns, but
this game's in Cleveland, isn't it?
But Browns, they haven't been that impressive the last few weeks.
I think Baker's a little banged up as well from memory. Monks, get us some odds. I'll check Baker's status.
Yep. All right.
I'll try and do a better job writing up the notes next time when I see Detroit and my brain skips to the next game.
That's it.
This is surprising, the odds.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would.
So I've tipped Browns as well. Their favourites are $1.17. The Lions are out at $5.10. We've got total match points of 43.5 and a line of 11.5.
So Baker Mayfield's status, he was back at training, but his quote is, "I'm probably the most beat up I've been, but I don't think anybody gives a damn." So he's I think he's got that in his throwing shoulder. He's got a bad rotator cuff or something like that. But essentially he needs surgery. It's not going to get worse, and he's going to see out the season and see how it goes. So, yeah, tough one for Baker. But as we said, Browns to get the win there. Finishes off Monday Night Football. Giants taking on the Bucks. G-Man, of course, coming off the bye. Have been struggling throughout the year. They're 3-6. Take on the Bucks, who do want to bounce back after that shock loss we mentioned against the Washington Football Team a minute ago. They're currently 6-3. Bucks here. I think TB12. He want to come up and show him up.
Yeah, he doesn't lose too often, 2 games in a row.
Yeah,
except in Super Bowls to the Giants. However, Eli Manning is not at the helm.
He will be, I'm pretty sure, on the Monday Night Manning football cast.
Have you guys caught much of that? Is it good chat?
It's not bad chat.
Yeah.
It's not bad chat.
Better than ours, I'd imagine.
It's about the same as ours, but just with Hall of Fame careers to back it up.
Hall of Fame careers, more articulate.
More full head. Monks, what was the story with Antonio Brown having a fake vaccination card / real
genius until we got caught?
Yeah.
I actually haven't read too much into this, so you might have to
he got a fake card. He got a fake ID.
Yeah, he got the fake ID, and the NFL was like, "That's good."
You know what?
So he's been found out.
Yeah, by all counts, he's been found out. But I think his agent then came out and said recently, following that, I was like, he's vaccinated.
There's just blood. They'll just do a blood test. And, see what happens.
He knows exactly, but it sounds like either he got the fake card to get him through, and he's eventually followed through and got it done. But he knows. But funny story, like the fake ID.
Schefter reported it, so who knows?
Well, they're fining everyone for breaking the protocols, and if he's been breaking protocols, then
they'll be saying, Antonio, we got your blood work back. Yes, you are vaccinated, but unfortunately, you have several diseases that we would like to let you know about.
Anyway, Bucks for mine, Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks here. I don't think TB12 loses back-to-back games too often in his career.
Not at all.
Interesting, Giants. They've been in primetime a few nights.
That's New York football for you, baby.
It's a big market.
Bucks
very short here.
Yeah, Bucks actually are coming off a back-to-back loss to the Saints and Washington.
Yeah, true. And there's a bye in there.
So he's going to be TB12 is going to be extra pissed in this one.
Threw me off.
There is the bye there.
Yeah, 40 bomb on the Giants incoming.
40 bomb, you reckon?
No, Giants are a bogey team for Tom Brady, so it's always a risky play in this one.
David Tyree has entered the chat.
Exactly.
Shout out to David Tyree. Hope you're well.
Well, did you see the Gooch interception this week?
The Gooch?
Yeah, it was Washington Football Team, I think it was.
The Gooch. You know what they call in America? Taint.
The taint, yes.
A taint.
Yeah, did get called back on PI, the greatest ever pick that never was. With the taintception, but it was worth a mention.
It's a great chat.
Yeah.
Mark, give us the fucking odds and we'll finish this NFL chat up.
Taint my fault. Tim Payne. Taint my dick.
Oh, that's bulging.
Taint. Mark's the odds, please, if you would. If you would mind. If you taint mind.
I think it was more sack and dick for Tim Payne, less taint.
Holy hell. Okay, this is an episode that might need to get deleted.
Give us those fucking odds, James.
Oh, no, I want to keep this on going. Sorry, no. So Bucks are favourites, $1.17.
Taint the real odds.
Let's hope Tim was well groomed for this.
Oh,
race.
my
Anyway, keep
goodness.
going.
The Giants are underdogs at $5.10. We have a line of 49.5. Sorry. That's
total match points. It's a big line.
It is a big line.
Line probably of like 4.
Charlie Sheen line right there.
It's good. It's like hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Eh.
We have a line of 10.5.
There we go.
Bucks win this.
Bucks win. Buys, of course, we got Broncos and Rams, the two teams we didn't mention through this.
The Von Miller buy.
Yes. Fair.